888-928-9282.
737 back on Jersey Central on the new Talk Radio 1450 WCTC, the voice of Central Jersey. Joining me this morning on the Raritan Bay Medical Center Jersey Newsmaker Hotline. He is a NCAA champion and NBA Rookie of the Year, 3-time NBA All-Star, 4-time NBA World Champion, and a member of the Basketball Hall of Fame. He's also a philanthropist, a motivational speaker, and now add author to the resume of our guest, a book called Memoirs of the Original Smooth as Silk. Let's welcome in this morning basketball great Jamaal Wilkes, who is with us. Hey, Jamaal, good morning. It's Bert Barron in WCTC in New Jersey. How are you?
I'm great, Baron. Good morning to you and your listeners.
Man, wonderful to talk to you. Thanks for getting up so early to spend a couple minutes with us. I can remember as a kid watching you on those late-night Laker games, just laying waste to the Western Conference for all those years. And, man, what a great shooter and a great player, Jamaal. And even coach in UCLA, John Wooden, with all the greats that he coached, you were the guy. You were the best player that ever came out of that UCLA program, in his opinion and mine, too.
Well, I'm truly flattered and humbled by that. I can't even imagine him saying that. We never discussed it. It's truly a badge of honor for me. It goes right up there with being inducted in the Basketball Hall of Fame, Bert.
Yeah, great achievements, obviously, by you. You played with some great players, Bill Walton, Rick Barry, who I believe was from New Jersey and played basketball there. Of course, Kareem and Magic were your teammates on the Lakers. With those Lakers teams that you played on, you guys were so dominant for so many years, but it was like if you wanted a highlight for the 11 o'clock news, you gave the ball to Magic. But if you wanted somebody who was going to hit the basket that would win the game for you, it was in the hands of Jamaal Wilkes. And what was it like playing with those guys?
Oh, it was awesome, Bert. And that's part of what motivated me to write the book, Jamaal Wilkes' Memoirs of the Original Smooth as Silk, which is available on Amazon.com and select bookstores. Was I feel I was blessed to play in the golden era of basketball, and I played with arguably the greatest sports dynasty of all time under Coach Wooden at UCLA and the 88-game winning streak, and then to be part of the Showtime Lakers, another dynasty in all of sports, and then at Golden State playing with Rick Barry, their only championship thus far. And Rick is from New Jersey.
That's right.
I wanted to, a lot of the fans would ask me, well, when was I coming out with the book? Did I have a book? When could they expect it? And I wanted to give back some of the love to the fans that they've given me over the years, and also to give them an inside look at what it was like being with and against those great players and great organizations. And then lastly, to hopefully inspire and encourage our young people and their parents, Bert.
Yeah, definitely. Jamaal Wilkes is our guest this morning here on Jersey Central, a brand new book called Memoirs of the Original Smooth as Silk. It is available on Amazon.com, and it's not the old been there, done that. He's going to really give you an in-depth look on what it's like to be a professional athlete in his life and playing at UCLA and going on to play with maybe the greatest basketball teams of all time, those 1980s Los Angeles Lakers, which were just great teams. And look for the book available on Amazon. And you had mentioned about, the Golden State Warriors. What's your thoughts on the NBA nowadays, Jamaal? Something is different about the NBA today than when it was when you were playing. I can't quite put my finger on it. What are the differences between the modern NBA and the era when you played in?
Well, I agree with you, Bert. Something is different, and I think it's a couple things. Number one, it's less physical today. They're really clamping down. They let a lot more go in our day, but also I think the great players today could play in our era. But I think players 1 through 12, or perhaps 3 through 12, aren't as fundamentally sound as we were. Also, we were more mature and older because we went to college and graduated. I think the one and done is not only hurting college basketball, but the NBA. And then, lastly, I think there's so much emphasis on the three-point shot and the slam dunk that the mid-range game has suffered. And I think that's the state of today's NBA, Bert.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I think when I watch these Western Conference and the Eastern Conference finals, which begin tonight, I'm going to look at that in particular because I think you're onto something as to what the differences are. When I watched you and the guys playing the 1980s, that mid-range jump shot. Every time if I saw you get the ball and square up right away, I'd be like, all right, well, that's in. And it's nothing but net every time you would shoot the ball. You were just between you and probably Andrew Toney, who played for the Sixers, were probably the two best pure shooters I ever watched in my life. And the game,
Oh,
it's missing from the game. You're right.
I agree. Andrew Toney is so underrated. Was a great player, and yeah, and it's just missing from the game. And I mean, there's a place for the 3-point shot, admittedly,
Mm-hmm.
and the slam dunk. No matter how exciting it is, it's still just 2 points. It's like a layup. So I just think maybe there's a bit too much emphasis, and therefore the players aren't as fundamentally sound. But then, Bert, since you mentioned and asked, there's less loyalty today. There's
Yes.
less pride of being part of a team, part of an organization. And I don't totally put that blame all on the players. The owners in corporate America are partly responsible, in my opinion. But all that, the idea of watching a guy, start with the team and finish with the team. I mean, that's so rare today.
Yeah, it's like all the players are all buddy. They're not bouncing around from team to team to team like they are today. When you signed with a team, like you said, you did your 4 years in college. You got drafted by a team, and most of the time you stayed there and had great runs. Look, you played for a couple different NBA teams, but all those great years that you had with the Lakers there. I guess the loyalty doesn't exist like it did when you were playing, Jamal.
No, it didn't. And as I mentioned in my book, Jamaal Wilkes' memoirs is the original Smooth as Silk. I actually wanted to remain with the Warriors. That was my plan, and it just didn't work out. And therefore, of course, the Lakers became a very attractive option
Sure.
after that. But my intent was to remain with the Warriors, and so the idea of being with the team and having pride in your community and it was much more meaningful in my era, Bert.
Talk about, if you could, Jamal, what life has been like for you after the NBA, after you had retired as a player. Catch us up on what you've been up to that led to writing this book.
Well, thanks, Bert. First of all, I did not pursue coaching. I went into private industry, but also my wife and I were just making small babies at the time I retired, and so I decided to focus my decision around my family and be home and help to raise the family. But I also did some things in the real estate and mortgage areas, and it morphed into some financial service. But in the last few years, I've become very passionate and aligned myself with a health platform to help meet the challenges of obesity. And I still do some motivational speaking, but I'm enjoying my life. I've been very blessed and fortunate, and my wife's put up with me all these years. So that's what I've been up to, Bert.
Good for you. You can look for Jamaal Wilkes' book called Memoirs of the Original Smooth as Silk. It is available on Amazon. You can look for it there. And also social media, you can follow Jamaal. He's got a Facebook public page. If you just search Jamaal Wilkes, and also follow him on Twitter, where the handle is @JamalWilkes. And just an inspiring guy. And this book is one of these ones you're going to want to sit on the beach one weekend or one day, and you won't be able to put it down. A real inside look of what it's like, the grind of being in the NBA and all the great things that Jamaal has been able to achieve in his life. A very, very inspiring story. So, Jamaal, it was great to talk to you. I'm telling you, those jump shots were like daggers every night, watching you hit those shots that would wrap the game up. And it's like, okay, that one's over. Jamaal's got the ball. The Lakers are going to win this one. But just so many great memories for me, staying up late nights watching Jamaal Wilkes and just obliterating the Western Conference like you guys did for so many years. And it's a real honor to talk to you this morning, Jamaal.
Well, thank you so much, Bert. Thanks for having me on your show with you.
All right, my pleasure. You have a good day, my friend. All right?
Okay, sir. You too.
All right. Thank you very much. All right, Jamaal Wilkes, my guest on the Raritan Bay Medical Center Jersey Newsmaker Hotline. Raritan Bay Medical Center, the home of 3D mammography, 40% more accurate than traditional mammography, reducing the number of callbacks for further testing. And